You know, I guess I should probably make the wings. Probably be a wise idea. And hey, you know, let's make a whole tutorial about it, because it's not like there's anybody else who could possibly use this tutorial. Right, Hermitcraft community? I see you. I'm here to help. Let's learn how to make some head wings. Okay, from the game, I got this. This is scaled to my head, so from about here to across, it's about 8 inches, which is really good sizing to my head. I might extend this a little bit more downwards. So I'm going to now cut out of my craft foam, or craft felt, because this stuff is nice and super, super soft. It actually has a rougher side and a softer side, and I'll show what I'm going to be doing with that in a second. But I'm going to then take this outline and put it onto here. The reason I have the second set of wings denotated on here is so that I have an idea of where they're going to be when I felt them onto this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to find the rough side of each one of these. It's typically, if you're getting yours from Michael's, typically the sticker is on the rough side, but there's a difference. You can feel the difference. So actually, I think this one they put it on. Yeah, nope, this one's on the rough side too. So what I'll do is I'll trace it out on the rough side, and then the rough sides are going to go together, so it's the soft side that's going to touch my skin. This makes it so it's less of a sensory nightmare than trying to have it as the rough side touching my skin. So yeah, give me 1 second to trace this out onto my felt, and I think I'm just going to cut it out just to save time, because I don't know which I'm going to have to use, because I can't find my fabric scissors. So wish me luck. So don't get mad. I've jumped ahead a little bit. I've gotten one entirely done so that I could figure out and show you guys how to do it. So I've got my beautiful model up right now, and so what I'm doing is I'm just going in and defining the shapes through needle felting. If you don't know what needle felting is, it's when you take basically felt or roving or whichever, and using a needle you just basically go and jab it a bunch of times. I will time lapse a little bit of working on this one, but what it does is that it flattens and fuses them together, doing it like this. On top of it, I've also put a very little bit of stuffing, and by a little bit I mean like cotton ball sized bit of stuffing in here as well. Basically just spread it out along the wing to give it some body, to help give it a little bit more shape so that it's not completely flat up against. It does work out pretty nicely. So I know these aren't going to be perfect, but she's not the main cosplay for this weekend. For Fan Expo. So I'm just doing this because I like the accessory, and I figured it'd be a fun thing. So let me do a quick time lapse and let me show you how to do needle felting. So now that I've got my shape done up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go about doing it what I did on this one. And on this one, you can actually see it a little bit better on camera, but I've gone about and I've basically done a back stitch all along the edging of both the interior feathers and along the outside. Outside, less necessary, but it just kind of helps keeps its shape and helps keep them together, mostly because they're going to be my Friday cosplay. I do tend on being there basically from show open to show close on Friday, so I would like these to be able to hold up. And between needle felting, sealing up their edges with my paint, which I'll show you afterwards, on top of the stitching and the needle felting, it's got a really good hold. I've thrown these across my room by accident and it worked out. So yeah, now what I'm going to go do is I'm going to do these back stitchings. Okay, so I've done all the stitching. Oh goodness, I've done all the stitching. I've threaded, I don't know if you saw, but there is a wire that I've got wrapped around here that feeds up and through and actually goes, where is it on this one? It actually feeds part way through. It doesn't go all the way to the end here. And it just loops through. That way these, I can like bend them out of my way. I can move them around. I'm not stuck in just one position, because hers kind of move around, but they more or less stay in one spot. They kind of have that like backwards flow to them. So I can have them either flowing backwards, or I can have them curl in front of my head, because they kind of, like when she's standing still, they kind of curl towards the front. So I can move them around. The next, and well, basically the last step for these guys is I just got to airbrush some purple. So let me go dig up my airbrush. All right, excuse the state of my sink. I figured I would clean it all off once I was done with this, because I'm probably going to stain it a little bit. I can't find my airbrush, so I'm going to teach you how to dip dye felt. So Really easy. I've got 2 cups here. This one is my paint mixture, which kind of matches, it's a little bit of a deeper color, which is what I want, than what's on her wings. And then let's just see if we can focus in on that one so you can see that. And then my other one is a cup, just a little cup of water. So what you do is you take your felt and you take the little section that you want and you just, a little dip. You want it to absorb a little ways in. Once you're done there, you come over to the water and you dilute it down. And you allow the water to soak up a little bit higher. I think I accidentally overdid this one, so we'll pull it down. But yeah, it will transfer the color throughout. And then I'll take my paper towels. Yeah, I went a little bit too far on this one, but I don't mind. This is just my test sample. My wings are beside me. But yeah, you can get a really nice gradient like this. And get like a little nice mass tone like this one. Actually, it's a nicer gradient on camera than it is in person, I'll be quite honest with you there. But yeah, basically, that's what I'm gonna do with the with it. I'm gonna change out this water real quick before I do the next dip. But yeah, basically, that's what you do. If you find that like you want it to spread up a little bit higher, once you've got the paint on, see if I can actually, I'm almost out of paper towel, so I gotta be careful, but if you just take a little bit and you dab it down, you can darken an area and then you can take a little bit of water and you can spread it around and even out the color. It is a process, and it is a process where I'm definitely grateful I have extra pieces of felt. So practice first. It is not horribly difficult, but does give you a really nice gradient on felt, and it will actually felt it down a little bit more, so it will be smoother than it currently is. Give me 1 second, I'll show you. Here are my wings set, did it out, and you can tell it's a little rough right now. So after I do this is actually going to become like wet felting it, and it will actually smooth out the texture a little bit more, which in the end will make it look nicer. So let me do that real quick. Alrighty, so that's how they turned out. Not too bad, other than the one spot, but hey, we're gonna choose to ignore it because this isn't the main cosplay for the weekend. This is just one because I really like her design and I really thought it would be fun to do. If you are doing this for, say, a pesky bird, what you can do is, if you say take a base yellow instead of doing a red, and you dip dye the top red and dip dye the bottom blue, you'd get a really beautiful rainbow gradient throughout it. I don't have any red felt at the moment to kind of show how to do, or yellow felt, mind you, to show you how to do that. But you can go about starting from the top and going down to the bottom and making basically a rainbow. It would give off the look that, let's just say that pesky little bird's got. So it will add you with the darker color at the tip, the lighter color at the top, and it makes actually a really nice transition. These look really good. I'm gonna smooth out this one a little bit more off camera, but yeah, that's how they turned out. And I'm really excited to get to wear this cosplay in, what is it, 3 weeks? 3 weeks time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys found this helpful. So yeah, that is making Robin's wings, or just making head wings in general.